What do you say we go get some Two Rivers prep in? Can't forget you. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shoot More. If you're new, welcome. If you've seen some of the under content and you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that button down below right now. Really lets me know that I'm doing a good job. This video is going to be a part 2 to the Two Rivers prep. We're going to do some updates, let you know kind of where things are at, some decisions we've made, some things that we still have to address, and then we're going to do some practice, positional practice specifically with our 6.5 Creedmoor. One of the things that I had mentioned in the first video is that I wanted this to be a little bit more vlog style. So this video is formatted a little bit differently, trying to get ready for that. One of the biggest things I think that was outstanding was load development, and to be honest with you, I don't know that I made a lot of progress in that department. After I posted that first video, I had a lot of feedback. I had phone calls, messages from guys that I respect that shoot both Centerfire and Rimfire, giving me tips and recommendations, and I didn't really listen. So yeah, I found so let me back up. The general recommendation that I got was try and shoot the 140 Hornady ELDMs. They typically shoot pretty well. I had some 140s that I tested in this barrel. We are still shooting the Outlier 6.5 Creedmoor barrel, have not changed that, but we'll get into that here in a minute. The 140s just were not shooting good. They were anywhere from an inch to like an inch, 1.2 inches at 100 yards. I happened across a pretty good deal for some 142 SMKs. So I figured as long as I can get them to shoot under an inch consistently, they're inexpensive. I have a couple thousand of them that I can load up and shoot for practice, which is what I've been doing. Currently, they're 41.5 grains of H4150. They're 20 thou off of jam per the Eric Cortina method, and we're shooting consistent 0.7s. So is there performance on the table? Yeah, absolutely. Once I get the brass figured out, I'm gonna go ahead and do a charge weight test real quick, and then I'm gonna pick a charge weight, do a little tweaking with the seating depth, and then that's gonna be our load. I think that we can probably get these shooting 0.5s pretty consistently. So I mentioned brass specifically, and I've been shooting some Hornady brass that I've got. This is the third time it's been loaded now, and I don't have an annealer, so I don't know how much more life I'm gonna get out of this brass. I'm already starting to tell the neck tension is getting inconsistent based on the pressure that's required to seat the bullet. So I'm working on getting an annealer, but I need brass that is all the same lot for this match. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up picking up 500 pieces of Starline brass. It'll get us through the match and the rest of this year, probably to burn this barrel out. I don't want to jump into getting super high dollar brass like Peterson or Lapua or Alpha if I don't think I'm going to stick with the 6.5 Creedmoor long term. You know, that's kind of where we're at from a load development standpoint. I mentioned the rifle. There has been some changes there. Let's go ahead and jump over and we'll run you guys through those. So you can probably tell the rifle looks a little bit different. I shot that Graybow stock one time, and I think that would be a wonderful hunting stock. It is not for me when it comes to PRS. So I put that up for sale. I ended up picking up a second MDT Elite. That way it's the same whether I'm shooting Centerfire or Rimfire in terms of hand placement, controls, everything. I have both chassis set up identical to each other. They even are weighted pretty much the same as well. So I've also got the same scope on this. It's a Razor Gen 3, 6-36. I've got the turret tape on there. I noticed that something the guys in Centerfire use a lot is just, you know, for quick dialing. They don't hold as much as the Rimfire crowd does, so the turret tape comes in handy pretty often. I do have another SG pulse level on here. Trigger's the same. It's a Triggertech Words are hard. Triggertech Diamond 2-stage flat. I've got it set pretty low. The action's the same. It's an Aero Solus action. It's got probably 800 rounds on it total at this point. I bought it used for a pretty good deal. We are still rocking our Atlas bipod. I do have a double pull Skypod on the way. I just would like something with a little bit more height for that first field day of shooting for the Two Rivers match. Right now we're still shooting the Ace Brake. Might have something coming to replace that. The barrel is still the same. It is the Outlier 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. The barrel nut has not moved. That's great news. I put some paint marks on it so I can kind of keep an eye on it. I did spray paint the barrel black. You guys can't leave me unattended with a can of spray paint. You saw what happened with the other chassis. That didn't turn out well. The barrel turned out a lot better. It's holding up. I took more time, I primed it, I prepped it better, so I think it adhered better. I think it looks dope. I just didn't want to pay for Cerakote. I think the last update we really need to give is on the magazine situation. I've pretty much ditched the poly and plastic mags. I've gone entirely to the MDT metal mags. These are the 12 round 308 mags. They've been great. I've only had a couple instances where the bolt fails to pick up the next round out of the magazine. So I definitely think I need to tune these feed lips a little bit. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna do some research on kind of what that needs to look like. But overall, I've been very happy with the consistency out of these mags. They're definitely nicer and worth the premium over the plastic and poly mags. So I think that's gonna kind of do it for our update for right now. I've got the matchbook from the Scorcher. I think what we're gonna do is pick a couple stages. I wanna shoot a lot of bag positions today. And then probably the next time we do this, I want to see if I can do more tripod rear. We do have a little bit of wind. It's probably 5 to 7 right now. I don't have my Kestrel. Pretty typical twisted conditions. It's coming from probably 7 o'clock if I had to guess. Today will be the first time that I am practicing Centerfire with the trigger cam. I've been very impressed with the Razor's glass quality, being able to see, you know, hits and misses downrange. I'm curious how much the trigger cam's gonna change that. I'm gonna go zero this real quick, and then I will catch you guys at the first stage that we're gonna shoot. Yeah, we're good? Okay, so, I'm knocking my stuff over. We've got the rifle zeroed. I'll go ahead and put the measurements here. It's actually shooting a little bit better than I thought. These are only 3-shot groups, but they're still under 0.6, so pretty happy there. I think we're going to start with the Leupold Barricade. It was stage 7 at the Scorcher. On command, shooter will take up a shooter chosen position on the barricade, engage the triangles near to far, 1 round each, 407, 470, 563, 643, and 785. Shooter will move to another position, shoot the torso rack at 680 yards, 1 round each, left to right. We got some wind today, probably still right in that 5 to 7 mile an hour range, coming from about 7 o'clock ballpark, depending on direction of the target. So I'm gonna go ahead and get loaded here and we'll jump into it. One thing I'm gonna try and do is use more of the turret tape, so I've got that marked instead of using a dope card. I looked at the berms just now and they're missing quite a few targets. I don't know if they've gotten pulled down for maintenance or replacement or what the deal is. So we'll just kind of make do as best we can. I think we're gonna sit at probably 20x magnification. Dial started, that's good. Camera's on and recording. All right, shooter, stand by. Beep. Place bag, place rifle. I think we're gonna try double kneeling first. Let's go for a little bit different with the scope cam for sure. All right, so that was C1. Going B1 next. Making sure we're level. Impact. Going B2 next. That dude's little. Off right. Going B3. square up to the rifle. I'm seeing a right to left mirage. No, I'm not. That is not true at all. That was 5/10 off target. Scope's lying to me. All right, so we're gonna take what we know from that. We're gonna go maybe 6/10. Too much. We're not doing well. Rotate position. Almost did the same thing. Quarter the guys did at the Scorchers. They didn't move. Maybe we try the leg here. Flying the plate rack. I think we're gonna start 5/10 hold. Impact. Did not feel comfortable. Impact. 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 So 5/10 at 680 was a pretty good wind hold. I just cannot get behind this one leg thing. Maybe I need to get my right knee back further so I'm a little more square to the rifle. All right, wind holds are hard. Yeah, I definitely can't see as much with this scope cam on here. I'm glad that we're starting to practice with this now instead of on match day. All right, next stage. So stage 8, TBP Connex on command shooter will take up a position on the letters, engage B1 berm, right square 469 yards, and then B3 berm, right square 643 yards. Shooter will repeat the sequence for 4 more positions for a total of 5 positions. We've got the markings on the turret tape again. Something I didn't mention before, I don't have this profile really trued out. I'm just using the AB data in the Kestrel, and I put the speed in. So it's pretty close so far, but we might need to tweak it a little bit once we get our load dialed in. All right, 5 positions. I think this counted as 1, so we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that we'll use all of the windows. Bag is mostly ready, shooter ready, standby, beep. Let's try high. Rifle in. B1. Oh no. Not the chamber flag. Make sure we're level. 0.4. Impact. Go B3. All we've got is that IPSC 0.5. Impact. Rotate. Next, position 2. Oh shoot, I didn't follow down on the scope. Offside, I didn't have really good pressure on the gun for that, and I was not level. 0.5. Oh, well, it's because I didn't dial, that's why. All right, dummy, don't forget to dial, slow down. We're not shooting for time. Next position, dial's correct. Berm, B1. Gonna go 4/10. Make sure we're level this time. Impact. Dial up, B3. 5/10. Impact. Dial down. Next position. I was right, KOL. B1. Impact. IPSC 0.5. Impact. Dial down. All right, last level. Impact. Impact. All right, little mistake in the beginning, forgot to dial, cleaned it up, had a pretty good run after that. Next, I think We're gonna do blocks and rocks. On command shooter will take up a position on any block, engage the B1 KYL rack 469 left to right, hit or miss, move on, 5 rounds. Shooter will then make a new position on any rock and repeat the sequence. I said that we were not gonna shoot anything that was like bipod related. I lied. I just kind of want to shoot a KYL rack. So we're gonna shoot this and see how we do. Question of the day is, which block do we want to shoot off of? We'll shoot off of this guy. I kind of think that's like probably the move. I've never done this before, so we're kind of cheating a little bit by kind of pre-gaming this, but that's how we learn. I don't want to figure it out on the clock. What I've seen a lot of guys do here, I don't like that being that far forward. They shoot tripod rear, and that way they're able to get their bipod on, and then they'll tack table it, and it's way more stable. I don't have a tack table, so we're gonna make do with what we have and try this, even though it's probably not ideal. KYL B1 469's dialed, ready, go. Rifle, I would like it to be as far forward as I can. That's terrible, I hate that. Move that back. I definitely understand why these guys do tripod rear now. Bipod definitely has to come up. Oh, this is a cluster. This is a cluster for sure. Okay. So bipod, a little bit taller. This is definitely a tripod rear position without a doubt. Because I can't get it. Oh, maybe I can. All right, we're here. It's the first time I've put 12 rounds in these mags. They're very tight. Impact. Whoa. Bag tension maybe. Impact. Definitely bag tension. Couldn't tell you. Under it? Not sure. Let's go ahead and extend that out a little bit further. Okay. Got square. Definitely need more elevation on this. All right, so we're 2 clicks on this rock at least. Let me get a little bit more forward so we're sharing the rock at least. Wind call was good. It just impact. Impact. I don't know why that was so low. Just off left. Just off right. Or it was off right and then it was off left. Okay, well, that sucks. Let's try that triangle since we got 2 rounds in here. Interesting. Too much wind. All right, guys, so it's a couple days later. I wasn't able to film an outro at the range. I had to go do dad stuff. But just a couple closing thoughts for you all, and kind of, I think, where we're gonna head from here. From looking back at the footage, I think there's 2 big takeaways for things that I need to work on. One is remembering to drive the rifle with every shot, and then 2 is wind calls and knowing what to look for wind conditions downrange. I've come a long way in reading wind for rimfire, but we're talking inside of 300 yards. I don't know what a full value 5-mile-an-hour wind looks like at 800 yards yet. So it's just going to take some time and practice behind glass to know what to look for, see the mirage, be able to read it correctly, etc. The other thing that you probably noticed in the first stage that we shot in this video was there was a significant amount of muzzle jump, and I just was not driving the rifle right. I'm used to rimfire. You don't have to drive the rifle. I mean, you can free recoil it basically, and it's not really going to change much. You have to be, in my experience, much more deliberate with how you drive the centerfire rifle to get consistent, you know, muzzle rise after each shot. You could tell it got better as the day went on, but the first couple of shots, I mean, it was off camera, right? So it's just something that I'm gonna have to work on and then be diligent about for the first couple of stages until we kind of get into the muscle memory. Secondly, I've actually done some load development since this video was filmed, and I found out that I was loaded on a very, 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 very sensitive powder node, meaning the extreme spread once you got off of that powder charge was crazy. Probably why we were seeing some of the vertical dispersion at distance. I've since found a powder charge that I think I'm gonna go with. I need to do a little bit more testing to confirm it, but going forward, our ammunition should be in better shape than what you saw here today. Lastly, you know, what does part 3 look like? I think we're gonna finish load dev. I'll kind of talk about some of the data that I came across, the process that I used, and where we ended up. And then I think we'll head back to the range for a little bit of practice along with truing out the Kestrel once we have our load secured. A little bit of a longer video. I appreciate you guys sticking around for sure. I'm really having a lot of fun with the centerfire stuff. So if you enjoy it, let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys watching. I will catch you on the next one.